Hello and welcome to the high banks of Daytona for tonight's action of the OSCA ARCA series here at the Daytona Oval at night. I'm Shane DiMantova right alongside Cameron Cohn for tonight's action as the drivers just finished up qualifying and they begin to hit the grid. We'll run through that shortly, but Cam, big night of action here, 11th race so far in the season, and what do you got to do at Daytona to get it done?
Man, me personally, I think it's going to be all about teamwork here. You got to run the draft, find somebody to link up with, and just stay out of trouble.
All right, here's your front row there. We got the number 29 of Zachary Roethlisberger and Robert Hill to his outside. Johnny Eckert will start off in the third spot, and to his outside, number 40 of David Westergreen. Starting in the fifth spot, we got Nurse Aviator, and to his outside, Kyle Carlson, Austin Beer and David Karp will make up row 8. With Vincent Isabella and Davis Warren lined up behind them, and you can see the rest of your field line up at the top of your screen. As waiting for a couple other drivers to finish up gridding here, but yeah, we're back here once again. Cam broadcasting the amazing OSCA ARCA series, and last time it really didn't disappoint.
Yeah, it was a great race, and I remember the name Johnny Eckert being up there up front just like he is tonight, so I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on him tonight.
Yeah, he came up just short last season, and that number 90 just finishing a couple points out of the championship spot. But we'll see that number 90 roll off in the third spot. And speaking of points, he's currently there in second, right behind Dallas Myhand. And see Myhand starts a little deeper back there in the 16th spot, and that number 28 machine. Anyways, pace car has begun to hit the track, and we'll get this all underway momentarily. Is Johnny Eckert your pick?
Yep, that's who I'm rolling with.
I mean, not a bad pick. He's been really consistent so far this season with 2 poles and 4 wins. So I really think that's a good, solid pick, as well as another driver who's been pretty hot is Tyler Fody. I'm not sure if he's in the field tonight, but yeah, a lot of good drivers here. 19 of them lined up, going for some plate racing action.
It's always exciting having a super speedway race under the lights.
Yeah, nothing quite like Daytona at night. Really reminds me of those 2000 days, like the old NASCAR style. You know what I mean?
The good days.
Yes, sir. All right, Zachary Roethlisberger, Robert Hill lead him to the green flag momentarily. As the fans get on their feet, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us here, and can't wait to see who our winner is in 26 laps. Pace car ducks in, and we'll get underway momentarily.
Green flag, green flag.
We're racing here at Daytona in the OSCA ARCA series. Already looks like they're starting to single file out a little bit up front. Hill's left out to dry, and already some guys pushing towards the front there. As you see, now the 19 car of Austin Beer is going in the middle of 3 wide there, sticking his nose out. Always a common thing in iRacing while people drop to the back at the start of the green flag just to keep their cars safe and out of trouble. But here comes Beers to the front after that great charge.
I'm interested to see some of the strategies we see right here. Since there's going to be no pit stops unless you get in an accident, it should play out pretty exciting.
Yeah, you don't need fuel, and Austin Beer is in control, and he's got his teammate there, Vincent Isabella, right on the inside. You already know these two are going to try and hook up together and get it going and kind of control this race from the front row. So we've really got one large pack here, all double file, and behind them there's a little bit of a break starting, I believe, with Adam Teepee there. He's by himself, and David Westergreen. These guys kind of hanging back and staying out of trouble, and it's pretty calm back there. But up front, it's still heating up for this race lead as Isabella trying to get clear of Beers so those two can work together.
I'd watch out for those guys hanging back. That's usually the guys to watch out for come the end of the race, especially one good wreck up front.
Yeah, that's really the safe plan right now, and we had a couple guys kind of just hang back there, including Dallas Myhand, our points leader. He's just hanging out back there, and David Westergain, like I mentioned, Adam TP also back there. But yeah, it's just many different strategies you could see play out on the plate tracks.
Shane, you run more asphalt than I do. What's your strategy going into Daytona like this? Do you like to go to the back?
That's a good question. Honestly, I like to see how the racing goes for the first couple laps, and if it's not so crazy, then I like to stay up there. But other than that, if it's nuts up there, I like to drop back and play it safe like those guys are back there. On board with your race leader, Austin Beers, and that number 19 machine. How close this racing is Roethlisberger, after starting on pole, is still holding strong in that second spot than Austin Beers, but he's definitely got to be careful of not getting those temps too high. Let's see here, he's right at his rev limiter. Yeah, he's got to be careful. And these things also, they're hard to push, and you got to be really careful.
Do these cars have the air bubble that affect the drafting?
They have a little bit of a weird kind of draft style to them. You got to really bite or really light with your pushes for sure. So there's 3 wide back there. It's Dave Karp in the middle. Still really wide, but they'll single file out here. These guys not venting it at all. And Beers still in control after that hard push to the front. Is almost contact between Isabella and Roethlisberger there. Coming off the corner, and there he is, Johnny Eckert in the 4th spot, like I mentioned, and also that Cam mentioned at the top of the night, he's somebody you got to keep your eyes on.
I like the space these guys are giving each other, though.
Yeah, it
Keeping
is
it clean, keeping it nice and clean right now.
very reasonable for sure, and very simple. Nothing wrong with simple in my mind.
Absolutely. Simple keeps you going. Unless you're Aiden Forrest.
Yeah, P2
That was
boy.
for you, Aiden. I see you watching.
Yeah. Got a doubleheader action. Got some sprint car racing a little bit after this. Here comes Beers. He's moved up to the high side to work with his teammate. That'll hand the lead over to Roethlisberger on that inside with Eckert pushing him. We'll see what Roethlisberger would do if that outside gets a run. Maybe a little bit of blocking going on.
I think if Eckert can get up on him, they should be pretty good, well set. Using the side draft really well right there.
He's right on there. It's a great job by Beers, the modified driver in real life. Hands down, I'd personally say one of the best mod drivers I know. Kid can definitely wheel. He's right on the door there. Like I mentioned several times already, you already know that Beers and the 19 and Isabella and that Dale Jr. number 8, we're going to work together as they're great buddies in real life and teammates here on the sim. Beers maybe leaving out to dry here. It's a little interesting. Not quite sure what's going on there, but
Looks like Eckert might be saving him a little bit.
yeah, and there's really a gap between him and Nurse Aviator and that teal number black 27 there. As we got a couple Dale Jr. cars in this field. We got Isabella leading that high side. We also have another driver. I believe that's Kyle Carlson. I'm not 100% sure that No, it's Gabriel Edwards, excuse me. That beautiful
Isabella's
bunting.
car is by far the best Dale Jr. scheme, in my opinion, that he ever ran.
It's a pretty memorable night for sure. Got one driver on slow on the bottom. That's Jordan Tarble. He's 8 laps down right now. I believe he missed the start. So we're going to run through your fields right now. Austin Beers, your race leader after hopping up there out front pretty early on that first lap. Zachary Roethlisberger and Vincent Isabella toggling for that second spot. Eckert still holding strong in 4th, pushing that inside lane. Robert Hill Jr. in 5th after starting on the outside front row. Nurse Aviator 6th, Kyle Carlson 2nd, Gabriel Edwards 8th, Jacob Feskin in 9th, Davis Warren 10th, David Carpenter, 11th. Tom, the modified guy, we haven't really said much about him. He's in the 12th spot as his two teammates, Beers and Isabella, are leading that front row. We'll see if we see that maybe 60 car push towards the front of the field later in the race. It's Aaron Lineman, 72 there in the 13th spot. And this really begins the gaps in the field with TP starting at number 96 machine with Lester Green and Lyman behind him on the tail end of this lead draft. It's back up front. Austin Beers, your race leader. And Cam, I know we talked about old-time NASCAR, but how about we do an old-time NASCAR favorites and crank it up?
Let's do it.
All of that happened, big shakeup up front. That moved Robert Hill to the outside, leading that top lane. And Vincent Isabella actually had the lead in hand at one point, but he traded with his teammate Austin Beers. Is now those two drivers working on the bottom with Roethlisberger and Eckert. That's really a pretty strong inside line there. I didn't say so myself.
Yeah, I think that's where I would like to be right now. I'm not much for the side-by-side racing at the super speedway, so I'd be nervous in any spot right now.
Looks like really got
There
about, yeah.
Inside line starting to take off a little bit.
See what they can do and believe that. That's definitely going to be the way to go, and you just got to stay close to your guy as best as you can. I think that'll definitely be the safest bet for tonight. Is still leading them out there is Austin Beers. Really, if you had a favorite, I'd definitely put your money on him right now.
Absolutely, these guys are here. They got it figured out.
Boy, moves to the high, saying the
Ooh.
block. Oh!
Oh, there you go.
I saved it? No! Oh, big wreck here.
Oh.
Beers involved. That'll also include Roethlisberger. Just a bad block, it looked like there. Multiple drivers involved. Let's see, Jacob Feskin involved with some heavy damage there. Dallas Myhan, your points leader, looks like comes out unscathed. But we are watching that live right there. And you can really see how much of a big block can do on this pack is Gabriel Edwards with some damage, and we'll head to replay, just check out what happened there on the racetrack. We saw Beers move from the low line up to the high side to throw a block on Robert Hill, and like I mentioned, did not turn out the right way for him. Multiple drivers involved, and many had to duck in the pit road to avoid his. Here it is. Sees the run coming on the high side, and I honestly thought he had it gathered several times, and it's just on from there.
It's really unfortunate for everybody got involved in that. Just a racing deal, I suppose.
Looks like Adam Teepee with some front end damage there, and we'll get a different angle for you guys. And it didn't really look like Beers' car was too mashed up, and didn't also look like the 05 of Robert Hill was not too bad either. So those guys will head to pit road and fix up their optional damages, as they have one tire set, but it'll be interesting to see if anybody stays out. As all of that happened, Vincent Isabella did take your race lead about halfway through this race, and it's crazy how all of that can happen in a blink of an eye. Yep.
We were talking about the run the bottom had, and then all of a sudden here comes the top.
Yeah, it's crazy, and here we'll see some guys duck in the pit road, and Our race leader, Vincent Isabella, coming down. Johnny Eckert staying out. Dallas Myhand and looked like one other driver. So that will give Johnny Eckert the race lead now. So you see these guys make their way into their stalls.
Interesting to see those guys stay out. I think if it was me, I would have went in.
I would have went in too. You really never know, especially with the way those cars are slipping, sliding around, how bad those tires could be. And big shakeup is, like I mentioned, Johnny Eckert. As Tom, the modified guy, was there, the one guy who also stayed out that couldn't quite catch, but the top three staying out here. Gabriel Edwards will now move in the fourth spot. That car's got a little bit of damage though, so we'll see how that will work up front. Doesn't look too bad though. Looks like he fixed most of it up.
Doesn't look too bad.
Really doesn't know. Yeah, Johnny Eckert, your race leader. Not much else we can really say about him. Just a fantastic racer. He came so close, like we mentioned last season, short to his teammate Robert Hill in the 0-5 for the championship here in the ARCA series. And he's trying to go back and hopefully win it this season. He's just 22 points behind the guy who's lined up currently behind him in that second spot, Dallas Myhand. So really a big championship battle playing out up front too.
That always makes for some great racing.
Yeah, and I'd love to see how Eckert, if he's going to work with Myhand possibly, or kind of fend him off, throw some blocking around. But I'd be careful if he was throwing some blocks, because we saw how that resulted with.
Yeah, I don't know if
Austin
blocking's
Pierce.
the way to go tonight.
And speaking of blocking, we're actually going to double up here. I'm just going to find another replay, but they're double up here. Eckert chooses the high side, so he'll have, looks like, Davis Warren in the 70 behind him.
Want to make a bold prediction. We see another caution, and I think the guys that stayed out will come in, and I think they'll be up front by the end of the race.
I'm going to follow up with your question here. Do you think it's going to be up front, or what portion of the pack?
I think it's going to be more towards the back. I think there's going to be some moves trying to be made to get back up front, and we always know how that goes.
Possibly some antsy drivers. I like that prediction. Here's one guy we really haven't talked about. It's the number 1 car, Nicholas Monticelli. He was in the top 10 now. It's been a pretty quiet night, but nothing wrong with that. Is behind him, he's got some damaged race cars. Looks like, yeah, there's Roethlisberger in the 16 there. We got a pretty good lick in that wreck, but up front, we'll get back to racing here momentarily. Johnny Eckert, the leader after that caution came out. He decided to stay out with the 2 drivers right behind him.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Let's get this thing back underway. Green flag waving once again on lap 17.
I think you seen what I seen, Shane. I got nervous for a second. I wasn't sure what was going on right there.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a moment happened back there with Austin Beers. As here he comes in the middle of 3 wide once again. But yeah, I saw him get a little squirrely on that restart. Not quite sure what happened there. But speaking of that championship battle, you got Eckert leading, and now his rival, I guess you could say, Dallas Myhand right behind him, and it's on from here.
See what this top row does right here.
The one thing I do love about plate racing too is how you can get those underdogs kind of appear, those guys that don't get the spotlight too much. And wouldn't say that about Johnny Eckert. He's a successful driver. You always see him up front, but definitely a lot of guys in this field that don't get on airtime at all because this series is not broadcasted. So it's good to get the viewers or people at home eyes on their car.
Absolutely. Got a lot of nice looking rides out here. Somebody up in the fence.
Oh, yeah. One driver up in the fence. That's Kyan Jones. He's one of those 2 drivers that currently has made all the starts so far this season, so he'll drop back to the 14th spot there and try to regain some speed, as I believe we're 3 wide. Yes, we are for this race lead. Got one guy all by himself up there. That's the 6 car of Alex Kenton. But here comes Isabella too, the guy who's caught that race lead, and he's got Tom the modified guy squeezing him on the bottom side as those 2 friends look to settle out their dues here and work together possibly. And here comes Beers too. I didn't even notice him right behind Isabella. Man's hungry for that lead.
These guys know there's not a lot of time left in the race. Time to start making some moves.
Couldn't agree more, not less. Yeah, but I'd give Alex Kenton some credit. He's got that high side working, and he's using that side draft as best as he can, and it's really working. He's holding strong all by himself.
I'm really amazed with this right now. I've never seen this.
Yeah, I've honestly never seen anything either. He's got nobody behind him and nobody in front of him, and I don't know what he's doing up there, if the other lanes are sorted out or what. Is a little bit of contact between Isabella, and those 2 are spinning Vincent and Isabella around as Alex Kenton involved. Westergreen also involved, caught a piece of that, and maybe a little bit of netcode involved there, but Isabella with some heavy damage after missing that first wreck. It's Kenton. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Is got some sparks flying for sure. Wasn't too happy. It looked like with Westergreen, but Westergreen really had nothing he could do there, and that 6 car night looks to be over.
Yeah, he's got a little left front damage.
Just a little bit. I mean, you called it though. You said this wouldn't be the last caution we saw in the previous one.
Now the question is, does Eckert risk it and pit, or is he going to stay out?
I don't know. I guess we'll see. Really begging that question too. It's coming off the corner. Here it is. See Isabella. Maybe a bad. Oh no, he just kind of slid up the racetrack into the 6 car and got the 6 all squirrely. And then Kenton flew down the racetrack into Westergreen in that Coors number 40 machine, and that really explains what happened there. And it doesn't look like he took him or tried to hit him intentionally, but if anything, Westergreen should be the one that's upset with that.
Yeah, innocent bystander on that one.
Yeah, we'll go on board with the number 40 machine there. Kind of just playing it easy. I know that's the type of guy he is, and you see those 2 wreck up there, and he's just going to come down. Yep, there he is, flying down the racetrack and just catches a piece of that. Luckily, nobody else hits him as he flies innocently to the bottom.
I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's got too much damage from that.
I don't think so either. Doesn't look like we're going to have any takers on pit road. Except for those damaged guys, we got one driver coming in back here. Got a couple cars coming in here, including Westergreen. Looks like to fix up their damage. Yeah, that 40 doesn't look like it's in rough shape, though. Gabriel Edwards also down pit road. Isabella, David Carpenter. And again, another shifty wreck up front. Will now hand the lead over to Davis Warren and the number 70 machine. With Eckert, Beers, Myhand, and Tom, the modified guy behind him.
That guy's got the coolest name.
Yeah. He loves capturing modifieds. He lives at those racetracks, and you could absolutely go check him out on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, everything, every social media page. And Tom's just an avid race fan and loves coming out to these OSCA races and races in real life, frankly. You're right, though. That's one sick name.
It is.
All right, I'm gonna go kind of piggyback of what you said earlier, Cam, and I think we're going to see another caution here. 5 laps to go. I don't think this race is over. I'm not quite sure what the green-white checkered, if there is any, we'll look at. I'll talk to the league head here momentarily, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see if another spin possibly will happen.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think this is the end. I think we're going to see probably one more. There's going to be a couple of hungry guys trying to get back up there.
Should be double up this time. Yes, they will. Warren, your race leader with Eckert. Right to his inside, excuse me. That really would be a good boost for Eckert if he can get the win here, but obviously Mahan, if he stays in the position he's in the 3rd spot, he's really not letting that 90 car gap him too much in the points battle.
Yeah, I think Johnny's going to have to go for a win here. I don't think finishing 1 or 2 spots ahead of Mahan's going to really help him too much, but a win's going to help him more than anything right now.
We have received official word there is 1 green-white checkered attempt, so if these guys don't make it, their caution flag flies, then we'll see 1 green-white checkered attempt.
I think we'll see it.
I think so too. I think one guy who's going to be hungry is Austin Beers. Vincent Isabella's retired on pit road there. His night's over, but some strong contenders back here. Looks like really only 14 guys left on the pace as Carpenter catches up there in that 14th spot. But I think doors open for really anyone. I think we're going to see some madness happen, Cam.
Absolutely. I see some fans of Davis in the comments section. See if we can get it done for him.
Boys starting on the high side here on the front row. Davis Warren looking to cash in his luck. Green flag back in the air. We'll have 3 laps to go here at the line. Smart decision moving down to the inside with Eckert pushing. Now we'll see if Mahan can get that outside roll in there. It's really a 3-car breakaways. Here comes Austin Beers. Great move by that kid. And here comes Warren up to block 2 as it's madness like we talked about, Cam. 3 wide for your race lead here coming down to the wire.
I think that block attempt's going to hurt him a little bit right here. Eckert's got a little bit of a better run going down the straightaway.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if we'll see anything like, I was going to say that 3 wide action like you kind of saw with the 6 of Alex Kent earlier holding his own, but Beers dives into that inside and the flag, 2 laps to go as Johnny Eckert and Davis Warren duking it out for your race lead. Looks like the high side's rolling as we got 1 car in trouble behind. That's the 73 car is flipping. That's Kyan Jones once again.
Somebody Kyle Busch the inside wall.
Jacob Feskinen also catching a piece, heavy damage there, and I didn't see somebody go to the inside. It's a good eye cam. As we both called it. That wasn't the end of it, and another caution playing out, but Davis Warren, your race leader here, heading into the green-white checkered attempt. We'll see what will happen on the, or what happens, excuse me, on the racetrack.
This is what I love about Daytona. You just never know.
You really don't. Is looked like 3 wide there. You see 73 car. Oh, big thing of net code there, and a bunch of guys nowhere to go. It really looked like those were the 3 drivers involved. You could see Jones get some airtime for sure, though.
That net code, it's a doozy.
It really is, and hasn't honestly got much better. And found the 2 guys you were talking about, Cam. David Carpenter in the 7 car there. Jordan Tarble. They keep it straight though.
There you go.
Maybe Tarble kind of got the bad end of that, but great job keeping it off the wall at least. And keeping those cars clean. Green-white checkered coming into count like we figured it would, but Warren, your race leader. Beers second, my hand third, Eckert fourth, and Aaron Lineman. Look at this guy. We haven't talked about him all night long either. At 72 sneaks into the top 5. How about a little bit of an underdog story here?
I think he's just been playing it calm and cool, and it's definitely working in his favor. He's not rushed anything from what I could tell. He's just been running his race.
Yeah, this is his 7th start of the season. He's also had 2 top 10s, so hopefully he can get his first top 5 of the season here at Daytona. No better place to do it.
Austin Beers has impressed me, moving his way all the way back up to second after getting an early caution.
Yeah, he's definitely impressed me too. We saw from the beginning, off the drop of the green flag, that he was going to be hungry, and even being involved in that first wreck, he still kept that 19 car going straight and in the right place, and has found his way back up to the front again. And I believe he's going to go all chips in here for the race win. Is Eckert still your guy, Cam? Coming to the final attempt here?
Yeah, I think him starting behind Warren, I think him and Warren might be able to do something right here.
I definitely wouldn't count out Beers, or maybe even my hand too. And Tom, the modified guy, back in there in 6th with a clean race car too. I think he's going to be hungry. Westergreen is going to be hungry too. But yeah, all these drivers hungry here for the race win at Daytona, and no better place to do it. Like we mentioned, one green flag attempt. Here we go. Next flag ends the race. Look at Warren there with Eckert working with him. Getting that high side going, but Eckert lifts off the gas, it looks like. And here comes Tom, the modified guy. Talked about him. Maybe trying to work in that 3rd lane. No help so far, as Beer's on the bottom. But he's got Warren and my hand and a bunch of other guys fighting it out here. As here we go. It's all fanning out. 3 by 3 for your race lead. Oh, one guy sideways back there. That was Robert Hill. They keep it straight. Oh my goodness, great save there. But back up front, coming down to the wire here. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go at Daytona. It's between Beers and Warren. Three guys on the high side versus 5 or 4 or 5 on the inside lane there. Beers with the advantage on the bottom right now, but Warren's got a steady run coming to his outside. He's got Eckert pushing him. He's out to the front here. He's going to slide down to the bottom and block Eckert. Amazing drive by Davis Warren as he looks to cap off his night here. He's got 1 more corner to go and a straightaway. Davis Warren coming out of turn 4 as Eckert's got the run to the high side. It's going to come down to the wire here. As, oh, they wreck! Oh my goodness, I honestly have no clue who got that one. It's David Westergreen. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm being told right now. David Westergreen, that number 40 car, is your race winner. And there it is. That's the winning race car right there. Is madness ensued coming to the line. And wow, that is Daytona at its finest right there. And Westergreen, your race winner in that number 40 machine. Let's go check that out again.
That was a great finish.
Really did not let us down at all. And wow, I'm at a loss for words, honestly. That was something else.
That was a drag race gone wrong.
Look at that. It's just who could get there first, and big wreck fest as slow motion for you guys at home. And Davis Warren so close, but wow, that's the margin
Ooh.
right there. Unbelievable what Daytona can do. And Warren, I don't know. They tied. They tied for the race win. Unbelievable. Look at that.
Wow.
When
That
have
is
you ever seen
crazy.
something like that?
As David Westergreen, Davis Warren tied for your race win. Dallas Myhand 9/1000ths out, but iRacing scores Westergreen the race win, and as you see him and TP celebrate there on the front stretch, his good buddy. I've been on this service for 5 years, and I've honestly seen nothing like that ever.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
that was a monster of its own right there.
Really got a feel for Davis Warren, the way that one finished up. Ran a spectacular race and just comes up short at the end there. So we'll get some interviews to you guys at home momentarily before the main event on the Truck Series on 3Y TV at Daytona here also shortly soon. So we'll look to bring in our race leader momentarily. But in the meantime, we have the number 70 of Davis Warren as Cam's going to bring him in and get a word with him.
Davis, it's Cam in the booth. You got me?
Yeah. What's up?
Man, take us through that last lap, man. You had a great car. You was running good. What happened right there? What was going through your mind?
Well, I was kind of worried that the I'm forgetting his name, but the blue car that was on the inside was gonna get away. But we got a huge run on the backstretch. Got to thank Johnny Eckert for that huge run and got me to the bottom. And as soon as I got there, I knew that there was going to be they were going to come. The blue car was going to come, and Johnny was gonna make a move. So just kind of had to watch my mirror. I didn't even look at my windshield at all. And then we were there. We got to the line, and I had to. I wasn't trying to wreck him. I'm never trying to wreck anybody here. I was just trying to get that side draft. But I mean, at the same time, at that point, it's definitely worth the risk. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I won this race. I think iRacing got the wrong winner in their timing and scoring, but that's okay. I guess so. David Westergreen won after Gateway last year, but just thankful for Johnny Eckert for letting me be on his team, Outlaw Racing or Inlaw Racing, whichever one I'm in, and yeah.
Yeah, man, you had a great car all night. You looked good. Like you said at the end, it was just a racing deal. And I'm not going to argue with you. It looked like you might have crossed the line, in my opinion, before
I
he
agree
did.
too,
But
honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. I mean, it was super close. I'm not really mad about it. That could have gone a lot of ways, and just glad I was in contention. So, while I'm here, if you're in the Middle Georgia area, go check out makingbaconbaseball.com. If you're in the area during the summer, I'd love to have you at a game. Just give me a call at 478-803-1982. We'll get you out to a game.
awesome. Thank you so much, man. Great race. Still walked away with the P2.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for broadcasting. Appreciate y'all.
No problem.
That's a sizzling deal, if I don't say so myself. That
That
was
is.
Davis Warren in the number 70 car, just coming up short by, who knows, that is like the closest race finish I've ever seen. But the guy who won it all here at the end walked away with the race win is that number 40 car of David Westergreen. Let's bring him into the booth. And David, you got us?
Yep.
All right, man, that was nuts coming to the line, but you got it done. Congratulations.
Well, cool. It doesn't feel like I won. I don't know how that works, but I guess we'll take it. I'm certainly not complaining. Good racing up there. I was just trying to push Johnny. Figured that was my best opportunity, and I got a little cockeyed on his bumper and spun us both out. And luckily, it was right at the line, so just stayed in it. iRacing gave me the win, I guess.
Yeah, we were just talking to Davis about that. Is that like neck and neck? You could barely tell, if at all, who won that race visually. But you're being scored the winner, and that's official for sure. Is the seas really just parted for you? But nonetheless, that's awesome for your points standing. Is you're actually tied for second with Eckert, but with that win, that'll definitely help out your point scenario catching up to my hand.
The issue is my hand finished third, and he made the one race I missed so far. Would be the points leader because I'd only missed the one race, but it's still cool. Still cool to be right there in the thick of it and to snag a win. I guess I just hope it's not ruining my luck for later tonight.
Yeah, hopefully not. I was gonna bring that up as your next question. Did you really take anything away from Daytona here tonight? I know you're an avid sim racer, but anything in this race, at least for tonight's OSCA race?
It's gonna be chaotic, and I'll take them however I can get them, honestly. So
Yeah,
if it happens again, I'm not gonna complain.
no, that's what I was definitely gonna say. Wouldn't be complaining about this one for sure. And hey, you never know. The seas might part again for you, and you might catch that car or your truck tonight in victory lane. But David, anybody you want to thank for tonight's win?
Yeah, sad racing teammates. I was racing with Adam the whole night, and we kind of split up there on the last lap, kind of every man to himself. Thank Johnny, I guess, and I was trying to run up there close to him and push him, and Davis too. Like they were
About this?
they were right there, and I was figuring it was going to be a battle between them, and I was kind of deciding who won it. And then when I hit Johnny, it was just the littlest of taps, and it sent me just as squirrely as them. So always race them as clean as possible. So I hate I got into them after looking back at it there, but and then everybody at OSCA, Vic for putting it on, you guys in the booth. It's cool to have this one broadcasted, and I'll be able to go back and see this one because I don't know if we deserved it, but we got one.
Oh, it's one to watch, that's for sure.
All right, David, thank you for joining us here tonight. Congratulations to you once again, and good luck on the truck side of things.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
That was David Westergreen, your winner tonight here at Daytona after a pretty spectacular ending and spectacular race overall. And man, how about that, Cam? Why don't you take us through your final thoughts of tonight's race?
I don't even know where to begin. That was an incredible race, start to finish right there. It was some bad luck and tough luck for a lot of guys there at the end, but great racing, man. It's just the tale of the beast here at Daytona. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and really heard Davis say it. It came down to the wire there, and I mean, I don't know. It really was hard to tell. Maybe Warren got him visually, but obviously iRacing's always got the final word, and that was nuts for sure. But he just ended up on the wrong side of things, like he mentioned. But
Absolutely. Things can come down to the last lap here or all the way down to the last inch. You never know.
really don't. And we'd like to thank you guys for joining us here on the QuickTime iRacing League YouTube channel for tonight's action of the OSCA ARCA Series race at Daytona. Congratulations to your race winner, David Westergreen, once again. And make sure to check out tonight's OSCA Truck Series action on 3Y TV starting momentarily in about an hour as they also look to hit the high banks, and hopefully David Westergreen could possibly go back to back. We'll see what he can do. As I'm Shane DiMantova, joined alongside Cameron McCone, and we hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night.